Hi, everyone, and welcome to this week's video newsletter. I hope everyone is ready for spring and you are having a good day and a good week and ready for some warm weather. Because, like I mentioned before in one of these newsletters, I am so ready for spring and warm weather. I have spring fever so bad. But it has been cool here in Northeast Tennessee and Southwest Virginia, but I have seen the redbirds and the robin, and they say spring is right around the corner. So happy spring. We are now past the first day of spring, and we hope that all of you authors are ready to get started with events and looking ahead for 2024 and having opportunities to sell your books. I'm going to continue this session that we've had for this month is on expectations, and it's a series. And I will continue with this for the month of March. I started it out, and then Draco did last week, so I'm going to do this week, and Draco will probably do next week. But this week, before I get into talking a little bit about authors' expectations and publishers' expectations, I want to give you some update. We are moving back to Johnson City. We have secured an office space. The office space is located on Boone Street, which is near downtown Johnson City. And it is in the Taylor's Professional Building. It's owned by Property Experts, a real estate company. And some of you, especially if you're familiar with Johnson City, you'll know the location. So this is a little bit of a detour for us because we are not going to have a storefront right now. We are going to regroup and reassess and move in that direction to see what's best and advantageous for us as a company. So this gives us an opportunity to have a nice office space. We have a conference room, and the facility is very accommodating. So we're looking forward to getting, settled in there, but also looking ahead on maybe securing a larger space down the road. But this will give us time to decide what direction we want to go. But we did want to move back to Johnson City, so we're excited about that. And our new location, we will get established in the new location by the end of April. April 30th is the date that we have to vacate our location right now. So in Bluntful, so we will be in the new location probably around the third week or so of April. Now, in doing that, we know that April, the checks are going to be cut, the royalty payments are going to start, and we're finishing up on the royalty reports. And looking at the royalty reports, I want all of you to be thinking about, have you moved in the last year? Do you have a different phone number, a different address? Because some of the addresses we have found are not current. So if you feel that we may have an old address, please send that new address to communications, send it to Draco, and let us update the information. Because in looking to get our checks printed and get going with the royalty payments, we are upgrading our software. And we are upgrading our QuickBooks to the new online version. And what we've previously used is basically the software that we've purchased. And what we're running into is sometimes the old will not communicate with the new when it comes into software. And so a lot of information right now is going to have to be manually put in for your account. So that's going to take some time. So just bear with us. We will get going in our move. That's going to be a few days that we'll actually be packing and moving. And so we want everything to move smoothly, and we want you to get your payment, your royalties by April 30th. So just bear with us. We are getting there. So I appreciate the questions and the comments that are coming in. And a couple of the questions that have come in about expectations, and we certainly don't want to be negative here. I think you have to be positive, and a positive attitude will yield positive things. So in looking at expectations, I had an author is like, what can I expect? How can I make this happen in selling books? But what can I expect? And that's a very good question because you should have expectations. We're not saying don't have expectations, just make your expectations real. And just as you may, I'm going to use this as an example, just as you may plan a trip. Let's say you're going to plan a trip to Alaska and you expect to get to Alaska, but how are you going to get there? And it's almost, you have a map. It's almost like making a map on how you want to sell books. So if your destination is Alaska, you're going to have a plan of action. You're going to know how you're going to get there. You're going to make arrangements to get there. You're going to know how much money it's going to cost to get there. You're going to make your agenda for getting there. And that's pretty much what you have to compare that to selling books and having your books out there. What can I expect of myself and how do I go about this? So you have goals and you make a map to reach those goals. Now, one thing that I want all of our authors to understand that in working with JCP, I agree, you should have some expectations from us. And in return, we do have expectations from the authors. And one of the things that as your publisher, we want to sell books. We want your books out there. So when you expect us to do advertising and promotion and distribution and getting your books out there, have a conversation with us. Know what we are doing and what we are not doing, or maybe what you would like to see us do, or how can we work together. So expect to have a conversation with us. JCP is a hybrid publisher. And I've mentioned this before. I don't like that word because it's a catch-all. And when it's a catch-all, everyone gets thrown into the pot. And we consider ourselves, in many venues, it is considered that we're a traditional publisher. We are considered a small press, and there is a difference in being like a small book publisher or hybrid, but we're actually a small press because we do handle license of material. And I haven't done, I don't think, a session about how to get your book licensed, your material. But that sometimes is an option. And Scholastic Books is a company that they don't look to purchase the material, they rent the material. And so we have worked with them in getting a license for the material of a book. And they're very particular, and it is very specific in what they're looking for, and they do follow trends. And so keep that in mind if you're looking to write another book. Look at the trends, the conversation, the news reports that can influence the direction of the content of your book, whether it be a novel, historical fiction, or whether it be a children's book. What are the hot topics, that are trending today? And sometimes some of your larger bookstores, they too will look for that. And that comes into play with distribution. So expect to have a conversation with us to understand what we do provide and what we can provide and what you would like to see us provide. Now, we too have expectations from our authors, and it works both ways. As an author, you should expect to talk to us and communicate with us. And as a publisher, we expect that from you. If you have a concern or maybe you feel like your books aren't where they need to be, well, let's talk and let's find a way to make that happen. Now, Draco is our communications director. And Draco handles the marketing, handles the promotion. We come up with ideas and planning many times when we talk to an author, how can we make this happen? But expect to be a part of it. That's another expectation as an author. It's not like you can sit back and hand it to someone and let them do the work for you. It's a partnership of sorts. And so it is like sometimes running your own business. You are a part of it. And no one, not even your publisher, can sell your book like you can because you put your heart and soul in it. So when you're talking to someone about your book, that's just it. You're not selling it. You're talking about it. You're presenting it. But this time of year, I think that as an author, you should expect to be able to participate in some events. Now, in doing that, if you're uncomfortable in going to an event by yourself or feel like maybe you don't have the expertise, then look at an author or ask another author if they're going to participate. We have, ways that you can connect with JCP authors through our social media and, ask, is anyone going to this event, or can I share a table with you? And then that gives you the reason and the effort that you're making to sell your book, that gives you a reason to go to that event. You're sharing it with someone. So expect yourself to be a part of the selling process, and expect Jan Carroll Publishing as being a part of the selling process as well. Now, once we have a contract, we start the production. And sometimes you feel like you never hear from us, then, pick up the phone, send us an email, but reach out to us. Expect to know where your book is in the process. And I can assure you, your books are not out of sight, out of mind. Because of our production schedule, we are pretty consistent in knowing where our books are and the flow of the work. So if you have a manuscript with us right now and you're not sure where it is in the process, reach out to us and we'll get that information to you. Also, as an author, expect to look at this as a business. If you're going to be active in selling your books, it is going to be like a business, because you're putting yourself out there and you're looking to make money on your product. And there's nothing wrong with that. And so if you're looking to make money on selling your book, what are the ways that you can go about it? So expect to have a website. We've mentioned this before. Even you don't have to go in detail and have a very detailed website, but it takes time and it takes effort and it takes, each step counts. I recently had an author that had never published a book before, and we've guided her through the process. We got the book from basically a manuscript with some editing, some illustrations. We got the manuscript to the book form. We did some promotions, some special advertising. And at first it was like, I don't really want a website. But now, being comfortable out there selling her books and going to book signings, it's suddenly, I want a website. It's really a work in progress. So I think having a website, even on a small level, gives you another reason to talk about your book and visit my website, and maybe set up giveaways. And if you're uncomfortable doing a book signing out with other people, think about doing like we're doing here, like a video. We do our videos through Zoom. Zoom has a free format, and we all like the word free. And so you can do a format like this and have it uploaded to your website. And you can change it, you can keep it current, and this keeps the readers engaged. So I think along the way, the expectations, bottom line, you expect something from us, absolutely, and we expect something from you. But most importantly, we expect to work together. So please keep the questions coming, the comments, and look for ways that we can work together to sell your books. And one thing that I touched on week before last was sometimes the negative feedback. And you have to really look at the source when the negative feedback comes in, because everyone suddenly becomes a critic when they see your book. And we want that book to be as good as it possibly can be. But more importantly, we want you to be proud of it. No author is going to sell a book that they have reservations on. We ran into this in the very beginning in our publishing, that an author that we acquired through purchasing another company, he was unhappy with the cover, and it was like, I've never liked this cover. I don't like this cover. And he was not going to sell books because he didn't like that cover. So we worked with him and we got that book with a new cover, a different cover, and he was thrilled. So now it was like he expected us to help him and we expected him to like his book. So together we made it happen. So I think, and the biggest expectation is to expect to be a part of this group. And we look forward to hearing from our authors. We all are in this together. We want to sell books. So I appreciate each week we have people making comments, and we appreciate your attendance to these newsletters. We try to give you information, keep you informed, and certainly give you updates on where things are. So we look forward each week to doing this, and please keep your questions coming in and your comments. And I hope that all of you have a wonderful spring. Thanks for watching and have a good one.